It's Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol SBUX for Starbucks Corp. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. You can see some of our rough levels from in the past. We can remove that more nuanced one here. But ultimately speaking, I just want to point out, right, we were trading in this sort of sideways channel up here, more significantly falling out of that on today's session. Sure, we did get a bit of a hammer candle like the rest of the broader marketplace on Monday, but there was no follow through to the upside today. We actually did set a new lower low down here, which, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it is something to make note of. Now we have equal lows. We sort of closed right on this prior pivot from in here where this really significant bounce came from post earnings, right? So we're sitting at a very interesting place. I do think, you know, it's starting to get a little bit overdone to the downside. Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you typically don't take out the 100% retracement on the first test. So just for that reason alone, I'm sort of starting to think, hey, you know, in my estimation, I wouldn't be chasing Starbucks short here is what I'm getting at. But does that automatically mean it's a long? Absolutely not. You can certainly see, again, the hammer that was completely negated on today's session would just, you know, to me indicate that this is nothing more than balance, right? There was some upside, now there was some downside. Really easy to see here on the 30-minute, right? So down, then up, then down, then up. It's just sort of digesting the price lower down here. So again, it's not chase short here, but it's also not long because we are getting two-sided back and forth activity, indicating that the buyers and sellers are accepting roughly 105, right? So it's sitting in a precarious spot. If there is going to be a dead cat bounce, it's got to be up and over these highs here that you can clearly see on the 30-minute. So I wanted to discuss the entry point here around 106, right? Any consolidation that happens in here is nothing more than a daily bear flag that's continuing to build out, right? Essentially this type of activity. But if we can pierce that to the upside, that's where we start looking at, okay, can we get a back test of overall this bigger flush point here closer to 109.56? So that's the long setup. Again, as of right now, there is a lot of work before that can even be done here. So be wary of that, but I also wouldn't be chasing it short. If we do build out at least a couple more days in here, I'd say at least 2 more days of sideways action, then maybe there's possibility for a flush point for that daily bear flag to really pan out. And in that instance, yeah, after some consolidation, some digestion, sure, you can play the downside, but I wouldn't really do it on, you know, tomorrow's session, noting what happened on Monday and today. In the case of a downside break over time, what's your next level underneath to look out for as support? Let's actually grab some more time. I want to see with clarity off to the left here instead of just looking at a couple little data points. Whoa, that was a lot of time. What I wanted to get at was kind of this area. Let's split the difference and call it right here. And the reason I'm picking that, if I zoom in here, you can see resistance, support, support, resistance in here, support. So there's a lot of price history roughly around 102. Obviously underneath that, the next major pivot low is here at 96.60. So there is some room to fall here. But again, it's not a chase short at this point in time based on how the down move here has really unfolded. Starting to feel a little bit overcooked, but please do remember that the market can always do whatever it wants to do. So those are the numbers I'll be paying attention to. Again, the pattern is not ideal, but a break one way or another over 106 or one under 104, excuse me, there is essentially what I would watch out for. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.